Yesterday we have discussed a few things like what is a variable, what is a keyword, what is an identifier, and what are access modifiers. We discussed theoretically what are these things. So variable is nothing but, just we'll go through what and all we have discussed in our previous session. Variable is nothing but address location of a data. Location of data, whatever we are storing. Keywords, these are predefined. These are defined by Java, predefined words which have a specific meaning. With specific meaning. Identifier means rules, naming conventions. The rules which we follow for naming a variable or class or a method. So these are the naming conventions, naming rules, whatever we have to follow while naming any thing. So, and what is an access modifier? To specify the scope of a variable or a method. So whatever it may be. So access modifier means scope of a variable. Scope means until which location, until which point the variable will be visible. That means it will specify the visibility of a variable. In simple words, I can say visibility or accessibility of a variable or a method So these are the points which we discussed in our previous class. This is the brief about what and all we have discussed in our previous class. So let's see one by one with examples. So we'll, in a program, we'll see one by one. Okay. So this is the Eclipse. Let me know if you're able to see the screen. Eclipse is a platform where it will help multiple applications to integrate each other. So we have to work with Java. If we want to connect to database, we have to connect with a database. So Eclipse is a platform where it will help you to easily integrate, to collaborate all these things in a particular place. So it will help you to connect to Java. It will help you to connect database in a single platform. So previously how it was like, we used to write our program. So we used to write in our program in a notepad and save it as a Java file. So write our code in a notepad or Word, whatever it might be, and save it as a .java file. So .java file, we used to save the file, and then how using the command prompt. So run command prompt. 1 second, I'll show you. So here in command prompt, we used to compile it and execute it. So in command prompt, we used to run this program. And if you want to connect to database, again, it is a different, we have to do it separately. This is how we used to work previously before Eclipse. But after Eclipse, you no need to write your code in separate notepad or anywhere else. Save it as .java file. or run through command prompt. You for running this code, whatever you have written, you have to open the command prompt. So this is the command prompt where you will run some commands. Like in order to compile or execute the program, you have to write some commands. So all these things you have to do separately. Each and every task you have to do it separately. But Eclipse is a platform where you can do all those tasks here itself. So it will allow all the applications to collaborate here. So that is one thing which we main advantage why we go for Eclipse. So here itself you can write the code, you can write your code here itself, you can run the code here itself, you can connect to the database, everything you can do it from here itself. So that is the one main thing with why we go with Eclipse. Instead of writing our code in a separate notepad, run it different in a separate application, and for connecting to the database in separately. So all these things, in order to do it separately. So in order to avoid that, we go with Eclipse itself. So here, this is the Eclipse application. So
I'm able to see only whiteboard, I think.
Whiteboard only. Okay, sorry. Let me show this.
Yes.
Yeah.
How it is.
Okay, sorry for that. So this is an Eclipse application. So if you see, I have opened this Eclipse. At the bottom, you can see this is the application Eclipse. So if you open here, so it will have lot of features here. If you go to file, so it will allow you to create any new thing like Java project, package, class, interface, everything. So in file itself, you can create any Java project. So if you want to create any Java project, you can create like this. So we'll see one by one. No need to go in a hurry. So let's see one by one so that you will get familiar with each and everything. Okay. So if you want to open any file, or so this file, in file generally what and all will have, like creating a new thing or open recent things. So all these things will have. If you want to refresh the project, or if you want to import the project from somewhere else, so that also you can do it. If you want to export, you can do that. If you want to switch the workspace, so now currently I'm my workspace means it is a place where all my project related data is available. Suppose if I'm working in two or three different projects, I can switch my workspace. I can switch from one project to another project. So this will allow you to switch from workspace from one project to another project. So currently I'm working in this location. This is my only workspace. I haven't created anything. But if you are installing Eclipse for the first time, it will ask you where your workspace location should be. So you can define it wherever you want, but generally don't change. So it will, by default, it will give you a location. So don't change that location. Take the default one, whatever it is suggesting. So it will be easy for any, in future, if you want to change or modify anything, it will be easy for it. So this is for restarting the Eclipse. So these are the main features in file menu. Mostly we'll be using these things only. And Vishnu will help you in installing this Eclipse, whatever softwares are needed for Selenium. So Eclipse, he will guide you how to install it, and Java also, he will help you how to install it and configure it. These two things Vishnu will be collaborating with all of you. So if you have any doubts, you can just contact Vishnu, or you can ping me in WhatsApp also personally. We'll be guiding you how to install and configure these things, Eclipse and Java. Apart from that, meanwhile, what you can do is you can, yesterday we have seen, right? You can connect to any online compilers. Like if you search here Java online compilers, so until you configure all these things, meanwhile, if you want to do any programming, so you can search Java online compilers in Google. So you'll have a lot of online compilers available there. You can try with simple programs here. So you can write your code here. You can just click on run and you can see the output here. Okay, so until you install the Eclipse and configure with Java, so you can run your programs here. So that is the thing which I can suggest. So in this weekend, you have Saturday and Sunday. So in these 2 days, you can configure the Eclipse and Java. So let's see one by one. So let me start with creating a new Java project. I have an option of creating a Java project here, or I can go to the file, new. So if Java project is not available here, don't worry, click on other. For me, it is available there. For you, if it is not available, click on other. And here you can search with the Java project. So you can find it here. Click on it, select it, click on next. Okay, here it is asking to provide a project name. So let me give Java Basics. So this is my project name. So don't change anything. See, automatically here it is taking the Java version. So it is whenever you create a new Java project, it is automatically identifying the Java version which is available in my laptop. So it is taking the version of it. So we no need to configure Java or run through command prompt. Nothing is needed. So Eclipse will take care of everything. So it will collaborate with what and all like Java or database, so or any other application. So if you want to collaborate it at one place, Eclipse is the best thing which we can do. So here it has identified the Java which is available in my system. So don't make changes to any other things, just give the project name, click on next. Okay, so this is the structure, how it is going to create our project. So Java Basics is the name. In that, it will be going to create one folder which is called SRC. We will see what is available in that. So click on finish. So module name, create. Okay, so this is the simple Java file it has created. This is the hierarchy. See, if you see, this is the project which we have created, Java Basics. So in package explorer, in this particular thing, we will see what and all projects we have created. So Java Basics is the project name, and here whenever we create a Java project, it will automatically download all the library files. So all the files, so these are all the predefined classes and methods which Java has already created, all of them. So for us, it is not needed to write the code from the scratch, because Java has already created certain programs for us, which we can use them directly. No need to create anything from scratch. So these are the already predefined classes which Java has provided for us. Whenever we create a Java project, it will automatically import all these files. It will automatically import all these files to our project. We will see which and all we are going to use going forward. So from these already predefined classes, we will be using few things that we will see how we are going to use. Okay, so this is the these are the already predefined classes. If you want, we can use from these predefined, otherwise we can write our own code. Okay, this is the Java library files thing, and here we are going to write our scripts. So this is the source folder which it has automatically been created. For now, let me delete this one. I don't need this module info.java, so I'll delete this one, and we are going to create our own program. So now we have seen a hierarchy yesterday, right? So the first one is the package. So in package, we are going to create a class, and in class, we are going to create a method, right? 1 minute, I'll show you. I'll write it again. Okay. Yesterday, we have seen an hierarchy. Package is the first thing. In package, we are going to create a class, and in class, we are going to create methods or variables, whatever it might be. In methods, we are going to create, here itself, you can create a variable, or inside methods also, we can create variables. So this is the hierarchy we are going to follow. So all these things will be available in the project. As of now, we created a project, Java project we have created. This is done. Now we have to create a package. So package name, how we are going to give is, so all the things which are related to a particular flow which we are going to work. that will be under a single package. In that package, whatever classes we want to add, we can add. And in that class, whatever methods we are going to add, we can add it in that method. What is a method? Method is nothing but a task or operation. Any particular task we are going to do, that we are going to put it in a method. Okay. Let's create a package. Let's create a class and method. Now, right click on this. So wherever we are going to create a package, select that folder, right click, new. So here we have a package. If you are not able to see the package over here directly, go to other and search for package. So here you will be able to see a package. Click on next. It will ask you to give a name. So this is the path where it is going to store the Java base. In Java basics, in source folder, you are creating a package. So here I'll write basics. Okay. So basics package I'm going to create. Click on finish. Here, see, package has been created. In this package, I'm going to create a class now. Suppose in future, if I'm going to, if we start working on OOPS, Java OOPS concepts, I'll create a separate package with the name OOPS. If I'm going to write some programs on collections, Java collections, that is a different topic. So I'll create one more package for collections. We'll going forward, we'll see. So let me create one more package so that it will be easy for you to understand. So separate package for Java OOPS concepts. All the programs related to Java OOPS, I'll be putting in this package. Okay. And let me create for one more topic. So Java collections. So all the programs related to Java collections, I'll be putting in this package. Okay. So as of now, we are discussing just basics. So I created a basics package. And in this package, I'm going to create a class. So new class. Here it is available. If it is not available, click on other and search for that. Okay. As of now, for me, it is showing here itself. I'll click on this class. So one thing what you have to remember is the naming conventions. The class name should always start with a capital letter. The class name should always start with a capital letter, and it will be stored in the form of a .java file. I'll show you what it will have. So let me create variables. So this is a demo. This is the class where we are going to write some examples for variables. So I'm creating a class with the name variables. And here you will see a checkbox for public static void main. This is the method name. Okay. So I'm clicking this one, selecting this one, because every program, the execution starts from this main method only. I'll tell you going forward. So select this checkbox, public static void main string args. So select this one, click on finish. Okay. So this is the package basics. This is the class variable. This is the name I have given for a class, for my class variables. And this is inside this class, we are creating a method called public static void main. Why we are creating this method means, okay, let me show. Okay. So there are two things that we need to learn before running a program. So one is compilation and the other one is execution. What is this compilation and execution? Compilation means checking for any mistakes or syntax errors. Syntax means formulas, like how we have to write a particular thing. If it is not in that way, then we call, like in English, in simple words, I can say in English, we call grammatical errors, right? The same way, compilation means if there are any errors in the uh, like the process which we have to follow to write any particular thing. Like if my, so inside a class, I have to write a method. If I'm writing any method outside this one, outside a class, then it will show me error. See, if you see here, if I try to write something before this before a class, if I'm trying to write any method, public static void main, if I'm trying to write like this, it will show me an error. If you see here, it is showing some error, syntax error on token. So any errors up, if you are not following any rules and writing anything, violating some rules, then whatever errors you get, those we call it as syntax errors. So that we call it as a compilation error. So this will be taken syntax errors, syntax errors. This will be taken care by compiler. Compiler will take care if there are any grammatical errors in the code which you are writing. The compiler will show you automatically. So this is the error you are doing. So correct it. Unless all the mistakes are cleared, then only you won't go to the next step, that is execution step. So compiler will take care of all these syntax errors, and then once all the errors are cleared, then only you can go to the next step, execution. Compiler will do two things. Compiler will check for any mistakes in your code, and the second thing which compiler does is, this is the first thing which compiler does, it will check for any mistakes in your code. The second thing which compiler does is, whatever code you will be writing here, it will be stored in .java. See, I just gave variables, but it is stored in .java file. If you see here, .java. So whatever code you write, so if you want to run it using the Java, it will be stored in .java. So what this compiler does is, whatever code we write in Java file, it will be user understandable. So whatever we have written here, we can understand what is written here. Public static void main, public class, this is a class, this is a method, and this is the package. It is user understandable, but it has to be converted into mission understandable. So, but the computer doesn't understand whatever is written here. See, it cannot understand this is a class, this is a method, or whatever it might be. It cannot understand this directly. So it has to be converted. It has to be converted to mission understandable language. So user understandable code has to be converted into mission understandable code. Mission understandable code, sorry, understandable code. Mission understandable code. So this task will be taken care by the compiler. It will convert. So if once there are no mistakes in our code, our code is free from any syntax errors, no syntax errors, nothing. So then the compiler will convert this user understandable code into mission understandable code. This mission understandable code means it will be converted into .class file. So now we have created variables.java. So once it is converted to mission understandable code, it will be stored in variables.class file. If you open this file, I'll show you how the .class file look like. I'll show you this file. It will not, you cannot understand what is written in this .class file, because it will be like, it can be understandable only by mission. We cannot understand it. How this conversion is happening inside, no need to worry about it, because the compiler will take care. So we don't need to worry about it. Just for your understanding. So .java file is user understandable code, and .class file is mission understandable code, which the compiler helps us to convert. So once the conversion is done, it will be stored in .class file. Generally, to hide the data from any particular user or anything. Suppose whatever code I have written, I don't want others to understand that code, whatever I have written. So what I'll do, I don't give them the .java file. I'll just give them .class file. I'll give them the .class file if they want, and I'll tell them this class has these many methods and it will do this particular task for you. So I'll tell them what this .class file does, so they can use this .class file. I'll tell you how we can use also. Don't worry about it. Why we convert these things and why we give only .class file is, so if you open here, if you open the JRE library, all the things will be in .class only. So also they also have created, this is a Java compiler. This is the package Java X annotation processing. So if you go here, it will give only dot class files. If you see, all these are dot class files. They won't give you dot Java files. Why? Because if I know what is written in this dot Java file, I can create the similar piece and I can claim that this is my code. So in order to hide what the implementation, how they have created this methods, they will give only dot class files. In order to hide the implementation, they'll give only so a dot class file. Here, these are the methods. Okay, let me try to show you for string so that you will understand. For hiding purpose, hiding the details, what is written in that class, they won't give you the .java file, they'll give you the .class file. And how you can use the methods in that .class file, I'll show you soon in the upcoming classes how we can use that. I'm trying to show you the regularly used one. Let me check. See, this is the string.class file, which is available in java.lang. Let me open. This is a predefined one. Java.lang. Where it is there. This is SQL, XML. So it should be there. Why this package is not shown here? Java.lang. Yeah, here it is there. If you see here, this is the package java.lang. In this package, if you come down, these are all the predefined which Java has provided us. So in that, if you see, string is a particular class, string class. So that I have opened here. So in this class, if you see, you cannot understand anything. They have written in some, so you can read them, but how they have implemented. So for a particular thing, how they have implemented anything, you cannot understand this one. They'll be using what some the logics which they want to use, but we cannot understand them. But you can use all these methods in your program. If you want to use these methods, you can use them. We will use them going forward. I'll show you when we are working with string. So you can use all the methods which are available here, but the implementation part, how they have done, you cannot understand them. So this is the dot class file, how it looks like. I'll show you how we can use the methods in this dot class file here going forward. Okay, so this is the compilation part, which the compiler does. These are the two different tasks that a compiler does. And the next one is execution, how to execute our code. Once the code is free from errors and it is converted into dot class file, this dot class file, we will run it. We will run the dot class file to see the output. If you run this dot class file, we will get the output. These are the two different tasks that you need to remember. That first one is the compilation. The second one is the execution. Once the compilation is success, then only you can execute. If there are any errors, you cannot run the program. It will not show you any output. It will not allow you to run itself. Okay. So these are the two things that you need to remember. Compilation will be automatically done, because if there is any mistake in your program, it will automatically show you the error here. So that errors we call as compilation errors. Okay, now let's see the demo for one thing. So what is this line number 7? This is called as comment line. So if you want to tell the user what I'm going to do here, that you can write it in the comment lines. It doesn't have any, so at runtime, it doesn't have any meaning, but for user understanding what the, so whatever I'm writing, going to write here, what I can give just a one line description here into, so if you see any line with two forward slashes, that means a comment I'm going to you give on what I'm going to do in the upcoming lines. So this is a dummy line, I can say, just for user understanding purpose, what I'm going to do here, that I'll write it in these two lines. So now I'm going to write a demo for integer variables. So I'll write like this. So I'm going to write a demo for integer variable examples for integer variables. So I have written a comment line like this. Now let me define integer variable. So we have seen yesterday how to define an integer variable. So first is access modifier. So private, I'm going to use private. I want to hide the scope here itself. So private int a is equal to 10. This is how I am going to define an integer variable. So why still it is throwing error? My isn't, I have written everything in a perfect way. Private is a access modifier. Integer is the data type. A is a variable name, and the data which I'm going to store is 10. So I have given correctly, but why still it is throwing an error? If you see here, syntax error, it is showing you suggestions. Insert semicolon to complete block statements. So every line, in each and every line in Java, it should end with semicolon. It should end with semicolon. Then only that line will be completed. You are writing in the next line. So if you are not ending it with a semicolon, then it will throw you an error. So syntax errors, so this Eclipse will not only show you the errors, but it will give you the suggestions. So what you have to do, what you have missed. So all the suggestions also will be given here. So if you see here, again, it is showing an error, illegal modifier per parameter, only final is permitted. Why? Because, so you cannot use the private here. Why we cannot use that? We will discuss going forward. For now, I'll use the default access modifier. Why it is not allowing private in a static method? Why it is allowing only final? That we will discuss it in the upcoming session. For now, let me use the default access specifier. I have created one variable, integer variable, int a is equal to 10. Now let me create one more variable. I can create it like this, int b is equal to 20 like this, or simply I can give a comma over here, comma, sorry, comma, b is equal to 20. Both are valid. So instead of writing two lines, I can, in a single line, I can create two variables. So these are the two variables I have created, integer variables, a is equal to 10 and b is equal to 20. So these are two different variables. Now what I want to do here, I want to perform the addition operation. So what I will do, a plus b. This is what I want to do here. So a plus b. What is it? Oh, okay. Now I want to assign it to a result variable, int sum. So sum is equal to a plus b. So this sum variable will now hold the data, which is the output of a plus b. So now first this arithmetic operation will be evaluated. That means a value will be replaced with 10, b value will be replaced with 20, and these this arithmetic operation will be completed first, evaluated first. So 10 plus 20 means 30. Once this is evaluated, and the final value will be assigned to this variable. Now sum will be equal to 30. Now, how can I tell that sum is properly evaluated? So what I'll do is system.out.println. Sorry. System.out.println. Now I'll print the addition of A and B is. Now what I'll do here, I'll print plus sum. I'm printing the value sum. So this is a string, the addition of A and B is. So after that, what I'm printing? Sum. So if I declare like this, sum means whatever is stored at this address location in this variable, that value will be printed. So system.out.println means, if we are using this, means we are printing something in the output. So let me run this program. So as of now, I could see no compilation errors. Our code is free from errors. Now I can run this program. So how to run the program? You can see the green signal symbol over here. So click on this one, run as Java application. So if I run this program, here at the console at the bottom, you can see the addition of A and B is 30. So whatever is stored in this variable, some variable, that will be printed here. So variables should not be enclosed in double quotes, but strings can be enclosed in double quotes. So this is a variable, so I'm not enclosing it in the double quotes. And why I have used this plus symbol is, after printing this one, I want to print something additional. So I have used the plus symbol. Now after this sum also, if I want to print anything else, I can do that. So how I can you do that? Just use the plus symbol. Plus, in addition to this, I want to print something else. So what I want to print here, the addition is completed. So save this one. For saving, you can do in two ways. This is the option to save, or else just click on Control S. The program will be saved. Now run this variable. No need to click on this run as Java application every time. So for the first time, you need to do this. From next time onwards, just click on that green symbol. That is enough. So for now, I'll show you like this. See here, the addition of A and B is 30. After that, I want to print something. So I use the plus symbol. Then the addition is completed. This message got printed. Is it clear, all of you? Any doubts still now? How to write a program, how to simple program, and how to run a program. What is system.out.println, and how to define an integer variable, and why we are using this plus symbol, and how to print the value which is stored in particular variable. Suppose if I want to print what is stored in A, how I can do that? Just here I'll write plus A. Now see the output. So let me save it like this. Click on this button to save. Now run this program. See. So the value stored in this variable A, that is printed here, 10. So if you want to print the value which is stored in a particular variable, just give that variable itself directly. Don't enclose it in a single quote or double quote, whatever it might be. Don't enclose it like that. Just give that variable name. As this is a string, see, this is a sentence. So I am enclosing it in a double quote. I want to print that one in the output. I want to print this string in my output. So I have enclosed in a double quote. And after this string, I want to print the variable. So I have used the plus symbol, gave the sum variable. Again, after this time, I want to add some other string. So I gave plus, I printed this string. Again, if I want to add any other variable or whatever it might be, I can just use the plus symbol and use it. Till this part, anyone having any doubt? Or I can proceed further. This is the simple addition operation that we are performing here. Simple addition. If you want to do any subtraction, I can just give minus B here, A minus B. This is the arithmetic operation, A minus B. Okay, so now let me save this program and run it. So there won't be any change in the strings. There will be only change in the variable sum, because A minus B is minus 10. So this sum variable will hold minus 10. So there will be only change in this part. There will not be any change here or here or anywhere. So if I want to do multiplication, so whatever I want to play with these two variables, I can do it here. So any doubts till now, or I can proceed further? Is it clear, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is about integer variables, how to define an integer variable and how to play with this. So instead of defining one more variable here and printing that value, what I can directly do here is, let me comment this line. I don't want to use this line. Just directly, I can write a plus b here within brackets. Within brackets, why I'm using brackets means I don't want to get confused with this plus and this plus. This plus is to add the variable, add anything to that particular string. But this one is for arithmetic operation. This is for arithmetic operation. And this one, this plus outside plus, and I want to add something to that statement. So after this statement, I want to append something to this string. So that is why I used plus, this plus. But this plus is different. This is for arithmetic operation. Got the difference between these two? Why I used brackets is in order to separate this plus and this plus. This is for adding something to the end of a line. So this is the statement which I am printing in the output. After this, I want to add something else. So for that, I use this plus. But this one, I want to do arithmetic operation for these two variables. So that is why I enclose them within the brackets. Now let me run this one. I commented this line. Or let me remove this one. Both are same. Okay. Now let me run this program. See, the addition of A and B is 30. So how we got, so generally how it has to print the value of A and the value of B. But as I have enclosed them in brackets, it has performed the arithmetic operation A plus B, and finally it has appended like this. So if you see the difference here, if I used plus A and plus B like this, now see the difference. So what is the difference if you add the brackets, and without brackets I have used at the end? Let's see the difference. See, if I use the brackets, it has performed the arithmetic operation. Here at the end, I didn't use any brackets over here. I didn't enclose A plus B in a bracket. So what it has done, it just printed the values of A and B. Okay. So that is the difference. If you use the bracket, it will perform the arithmetic operation, or otherwise it will just add to the statement. So this is about the integer variables. Now let's see about the floating variables, how we can define and how we can use them. Okay. Now let me use float. Let me give a variable f is equal to 10.5. Okay. Why it is throwing error? Okay, this is double. This is double, and we are not, it is showing is what it is showing, type mismatch, cannot convert from double to float. I have declared it as float, but it is saying that it cannot convert from, this is double and this is float, whatever we have defined. So it is saying we cannot convert from double to float. So let me change this to double. Yes. So double f is equal to 10.5. Okay. Now let me perform the arithmetic operation, something like this. System.out.println. The addition of floating variables is, now what I will do, plus within brackets, I'll add A plus F. So this is the variable A and this is the floating variable F. So for these two, I want to perform arithmetic operation. So 10 plus 10.5, which will give me the output of 20.5. So I can do it this way as well. Let me save this one and run this program. So the addition of float variables is 20.5. This is my output. So let me differentiate this two. How I will differentiate is, okay. Let me run it now. So this is for integers, the first one. I added a new line, and here this is for floating variables. So generally, if you add an integer to a floating point number, the output will be a floating point number only. So if you want to store the result in some variable, double result is equal to a plus f. A plus f. So if you add an integer and a floating point number, definitely the output will be a floating point number. So that is why I'm storing this result in a double variable. And let me print the double result over here. Okay, let me save this one and run. Yes, see, if you try to mark it as an integer, it will throw you an error, because if you add an integer to a double, definitely the output will be a floating point number, and if you're trying to store it in integer, it will show you an error. So what it is showing us, cannot convert from double to int. So it will not be able to convert. So the output is in double, but we are trying it to store in an integer. The data type which we are giving is int, but here the output, the result is in the form of a double, because when you add an integer to a floating point number, it will be definitely a double variable. If you try to store it in an integer, it is throwing an error. So what I have to do, I have to store it in a double variable. Is it clear till now? Any doubts in floating variables? Let's see for Boolean variable. Boolean will store only one bit, right? Either true or false, either 0 or 1. It will store only those two. So let me define any Boolean variable. Boolean flag is equal to either true or false. It will store only these two things. It will store either true. True means 1, false means 0. It will store only these two things. Okay. Before going to Boolean variable, I should start with the strings. Oh, sorry, character variable. Okay, I'll discuss about this Boolean later with some examples, but before that, let me discuss about the character variables. So character ch is equal to, I want to define it like this. So now this ch holds a character n. So ch holds a character n. Now if I want to print this one, system.out.println, this is the character stored in ch variable. If I print ch, save this one. This is a warning. No need to worry about warnings. If it is in red symbol only, you have to bother about it. Warnings, even though if you have warnings, you can proceed. So if I run this program, so this is the character stored in ch variable n. It is printed in the output. Okay, so this is how we store the characters. And before going to the next concept, let me discuss about ASCII code. So what is an ASCII code? If you search in Google, so it will give you a list. ASCII stands for American Standard Code for Information Interchange. What does this mean? So each and every character, so even for alphabets, it will have, sorry, I'll open the other one. Here it is, ASCII table. Okay, so for each and every character, even for 0, 1, 2, 3, sorry, not this one second. Yeah, symbol. Okay, same keyboard, what and all keys you have. So what and all keys you have for everything, left shift, vertical, so delete button, everything, caps lock, everything, for everything from 0 to 9 alphabets, for plus symbol, for multiplications. If you see this one, this where I have kept my mouse, if you see there, for each and every character, what and all you have in your keyboard, for each and every symbol, you will have an equivalent integer value. Equivalent integer value. Suppose if you want to use this capital Z, so instead of that, you can use this integer 90. You can use that integer 90. Now I have, in our example, I have seen this character N, small letter N, but instead of that, I can use this 110. Both will give me the same result. So let me show you that one. So instead of N, what I can use here is, so let me comment this line. I can use char ch is equal to 110. Both are same. Both will give me the same output. As of now, what it has printed in my console, this is the character stored in ch variable N. So if I run this program now, even if I give 110 also, but of type data type char, the data type should be char. If I give int, it will print 110. But if the data type is char, then only it will convert this integer into equivalent character value. So now if I run this program, see, there is no change in my output. It will still print the character, which character equivalent of this integer. So ASCII means whatever keys you will have. So for all these things, it will have an equivalent integer here. Equivalent integers. So if you want to store capital S, so you can give 83. For W, capital W, 87. Even for integers also it will store. Whatever keys you have on the keyboard. Like for 0, it will be stored in the form of 48. For 1, 49. So if I give 49 over here, char ch is equal to 49. What it has to print? It has to print 1 in my output. So let's see that one. See, it didn't print 49. But if you use integer type, data type, it will print 49. It will print 49. But if you use char and give an integer, ASCII code integer, this should be ASCII code. ASCII code integer, equivalent integer, then it will print based on this table. Based on this table, what and all equivalent values we have, that will be printed. Why we need to use this ASCII codes? Going forward, we'll see. Okay, these are the equivalent codes, ASCII codes we have. This is the universally accepted code table. So for each and every character, you will have an equivalent integers. So you see the first one is null character, starting of heading. So you can see the description over here. For each and everything, you will have an equivalent integer. Okay. So this is the basic thing. So in our next session, we'll discuss about strings. And we'll discuss about the Boolean in our next class. So did anyone try that program, exercise program? Did anyone get a chance to work on that? Today you try these things in Java compiler. If you have not installed any Eclipse or Java in your machine, no worries. You can try these lines in any Java compiler. You try these things, work on what and all things you can work. Like just give a try and error. You can play with the variables. What and all you want to do, you can do with these variables. Just try these things today. So in our next session, we'll see on what is strings, what is how we can define the strings and how we can play with the strings. And we can see the Boolean also, Boolean data type also in our next session. And we'll discuss the exercise program in our next session. So till now, if you have any doubts, you can ask. That's all for today.
And the next section will be on Monday. So is everyone feasible with this timing? Is this timings is okay for everyone or any issues?
Yes, sir, we are comfortable with this time.
Okay. Okay, then from Monday onwards, we'll start the continuous classes, 6:30 to 7:30 every day. Most probably we'll give Sunday is a leave, means holiday, like Sunday only we will take 6 days in a week for the first couple of weeks. Then we will start full-fledged leave. Even Sunday also we'll keep a class. Okay.
Sir, can you please provide the recording classes?
Yes, we are working on that, and just today I asked about the mail IDs. So by today, end of the day, I will upload and I will add those mail IDs. So Monday onwards, you will get the classes regularly. Means after class, I think in 4 to 5 hours, you will the recording will be available in the drive.
Okay, sure, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Any queries?
Don't hesitate in asking any doubts. If you are free, then only you can learn the concepts. So if you are not able to ask in here, you can personally ping me, or you can ping in the WhatsApp group. So if you have any doubts, you can contact me directly in the WhatsApp. If you are hesitating to ask the doubts here. Okay. Feel free
Okay.
to ask your doubts. So regarding this Eclipse installation and Java installation and configuration, you can check with Vishnu. He'll guide you.
If any queries, just drop a message in the group. Someone will assist you to install.
Okay. So that's all for
Okay.
today. Thank you all for joining. We'll meet in the next.